What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? I am on 10 right now, by the way. If you got a question, you want to ask me a question, come on my live, raise your hand. I'm taking Q&A. All right, so raise your hand. I'm talking about whatever, moving on, whatever, but just know that I'm T Shell right now. All right, so let's go. Let's turn up because I'm just tired of people wasting their life. Like, for what? Trent, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Duh, we know it's hard. You think it's easy? Nah, I don't know who told you that. It's hard. But you know what's harder? Staying in the same place with your life. Staying in the same things is not going to change your life. So if you want to come on live, raise your hand, okay? And make sure you have a good question. But before we get on that, I want y'all to share this with somebody. Let me talk for a second, okay? We're talking about moving on because I got a lot of responses from my podcast episode. It was like, Trent, how can I move on? How can I move on? I was like, it's easy. Like, you move on. And I said, when moving on becomes, when peace becomes priority, moving on becomes easy. Like, when you understand that your life is not going to change one bit in the place that you're at, moving on becomes easier. Okay? It's not easy, but it becomes easier. When I had to make choices in my life that were hard, it made it easy to make a choice when I looked at my future and realized that if I didn't make a change, if I didn't do something, then my future was going to look no different than my past. And I was going to live a whole entire life of misery. There comes a point where you got to start accepting responsibility for yourself. There comes a point where you got to start blaming everybody for your life. There comes a point where you got to realize that you create your own storms, then you complain that it's raining. There comes a point where you got to step up and say, you know what? I'm going to take ownership because too many of us, we see and we blame everybody else. We get mad at everybody else. We look at everybody else. We compare our life to everybody else and we think everybody else owes us stuff. Nobody owes you nothing. Stop living an enabled life. Nobody owes you nothing. This world owes you nothing. And I know some of you don't want to hear it. Some of you going to be in your feelings, but I need to tell you this truth because you're going to live your whole life waiting on closure that somebody ain't going to give you. Waiting on an apology that ain't gonna come. Waiting on somebody to help your life because you think that they owe it to you. Absolutely not. If you want to go do something for your life, you want peace in your life, you got to create it. Or else stop complaining about it. And that's just facts. Facts on facts on facts. So I want to share that. Let's bring somebody on. Let's bring, who we got? Let me see. Let's bring some people on. I got somebody. Hope I had you. You declined. Oh, Meg, what's up? You ready to come on here, Meg? I see Meg back on here. I meant to bring her on last time. Let me see if I can bring her on. Let's go. There we go. What's up?
Not much. How about you?
I'm doing really good. I'm pretty fired up. I did a team call.
I can see that.
Yeah. I'm on 10. T Shell is definitely out in the building. So what's up? What questions do we got tonight?
I have a question. I just want to say I took your advice and it's working very well as far as distancing myself from an individual that's toxic. Yeah. But I do have a follow-up question in regard to moving on. What if the person continues to reach out to you? You block them on social media platforms, you block their number, but they can still call you by *67. Like, especially because it is difficult when you're initially distancing yourself. What recommendations do you have for trying to avoid that? Or they'll email you.
You got a decline button on your phone?
I do, but not for when you block someone.
You must answer the phone for any number because I don't.
I do. I work in sales. So.
I got you. So listen, I would just say this, like, you might have to switch that up for a little bit because I just feel like if people want to talk to you and it's very important, like, people will leave a message or they'll text you. And you might put that on your voicemail, like, hey, I don't know how in depth you want to go so people can understand. But yeah, people can continue to come back, but you have to continue to avoid. And so, like, I know maybe on social media, you got to block them out your life as best as you can. And if they keep being a stalker, then there's some other things that you probably need to do. All right. Because that's a problem. I will say that. So press decline. Do not give. And this is not just for relationships, guys, or this could be for friendships. Like, if you know something is toxic, you cannot give it any access because even the smallest little thing, right, can re-trigger a whole bunch of positive emotions, false positive emotions that make it that harder to get over something. It's like touching the wound. You know, if you touch it, then you scratch it back off that's healing, then guess what? Now it takes longer to heal. And you got to go through this whole process. So for me, it's decline. And if I'm a person that answers every single like number or whatever, I'm just going to let them be like, hey, if I pick it up, I'm going to say, hey, stop calling me. If you call me again, I'm calling the police on you. Okay? Click.
Fair enough.
All right. I know that's like extreme, but seriously, like you really gotta create the inputs that this person is giving you if you really want to move on with your life.
No, absolutely. I agree. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Who we got next on here? What's up? Who else is coming on here tonight? For Maria comes on here and shuts it down and said I have to be home. Let's go. Who we got? I'm about to bring somebody decline me. I'm about to bring her back on. Let me see who we got. I know I'm about to bring on my man Marcus Black. What's up, Marcus? Let's go. Oh, he's in the car.
What up?
Chilling, bro. What's good?
Man, you know, out here living and loving life.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I'm on 10 right now, man. So what question, what alley you be gonna throw to me?
Man, bro, I just think it's powerful what you said. I was watching you on Facebook and just talking about choosing your heart. So many times we get so stuck on like, oh, it's hard. They hurt me. I can't get over this. But just you can either choose the pain of regret or you can choose the pain of growth. So I think you elaborating on that, because so many people are just in a space where they can't see past the hurt to get to the point of growth. So I just want to hear you, elaborate. I got some friends personally who I know are going through some major things.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's a great, man. It's like this, man. What helped me is asking myself this question. Do I want to live the rest of my life unhappy? Do I want to live the rest of my life miserable? And if the answer is no, then you have to make a change. And I get it. Some of us are addicted. It's an addiction, and you have to fight. You have to understand the power of breaking habits. Understand your habit loop. Like these, I know it's not just easy as saying let it go, but you have to be willing to do the work to break free from these things, or you're gonna get to the end of life. You're gonna get to the end of life with regret. Like I've talked to so many elderly people that said, man, I wish I would have made this decision when I was 30. I wish I would have made the decision when I was 50. Heck, I wish I would have made the decision 60, because you realize that you live your whole entire life holding on to something that wasn't even holding on to you. You wasted your whole life, trying to make someone or something become something in your life, and they didn't want to become it. And so you look back and realize you wasted life. So you have to do it right now. You have to say, okay, enough is enough. I don't care. Because see, this is the thing, Marcus. A lot of people are afraid to walk into the unknown. Some people would rather a little bit of something, right? They'll rather settle for a little bit than nothing at all. Yes. Right? They're so afraid to be alone. They're so afraid. So this is fine. I'll just settle for this little bit because I don't want nothing at all. And it's a crazy mindset, right? Because I had that mindset at times in my life. So you have to break it, and you have to really gain leverage in your life and listen, if you don't want to do it, stop complaining about it, please. Stop posting the quotes, stop posting the videos, stop doing all this stuff if you don't want to make a change. Because posting quotes and saying whatever you want to say online, like, is not going to, and this is not to you, obviously, to everybody watching this, it's not going to change anything for your life. Like, I understand that, but you got to make a change, man. Or else, guess what? You're going to live your whole life miserable. God didn't create you to live miserable. God didn't create you to settle. God created you to be successful. So let go. Burn the bridge. Burn it.
So I do got a question for you, and as it pertains to all of that, at what point do you become an enabler for toxic behavior? Ooh. So you say you want to move on, but you continue to allow certain behavior to deteriorate your mental health and your heart. At what point are you at fault for enabling people to drag you through the mud?
Man, this is it right here. I'll keep it this simple. The great parable, and I'm gonna put it in a Trent way. I will teach you how to fish, right? I might even catch your fish for you for the first time. But after about 2-3 times, if you ain't even trying to do it and learn, I'm not gonna do it no more. Right? You catch your fish for a man, you change his life for that day. But if you teach him how to fish, you change his life completely. And so I'm thinking about that. So this is what I do. I'm a big believer in progression. So if you're progressing, then we good. Like, okay, you're trying to be better. You're trying to, I don't need perfection, guys. Like, I don't need none of that. I need progression. But if I know you ain't trying to do it, then I'm gonna let it go, because I refuse to carry dead weight in my life. I refuse to carry people on my back that's capable to walk by my side. And that's facts.
Ooh. Yeah. I love that, bro. It's not about perfection, but progression.
Absolutely, brother. Let's get it.
All right, boss.
We're the great questions. Where we at? Let's keep it going. Maria's not on here yet. She hasn't told me to come home, so we can keep it going, guys. Let's go. I'm about to bring somebody else on. Let me see. Let me take a question. Who we got? Let me see. Let me go. Okay, I got one. Let's go. What up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I didn't mean to decline you the first time. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not tripping. What question you got for me?
I have a question because of how do you, and it's kind of what I think his name was Marcus, asked you before, but when you have friends in your life that they're going through, something and they're getting depressed and they're enabling themselves to get in a dark spot and you're trying to help them, how do you get to that point when you know what they're doing and they know what they're doing, but they just want to be depressed? Like they don't want to help themselves.
Yeah. So they're addicted to depression. They're addicted to the feeling of, it's like babies, right? I have daughters and a son. And so with my daughter, she knows like, oh, if I cry, then I'm going to get attention. And I think as humans, we grow up with that. Like we know like, okay, if I cry, if I complain, I'm going to get attention. Now, I'm not undermining anybody's depression because listen, I battle with it. I'm not undermining anybody's anxiety. But this is my thing. This might seem, you probably heard me say this before. Somebody will pull you down faster than you can bring them up.
Right.
And it's just hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you have a servant heart like you do, like I do, like so many people in this live. But you can't help somebody that don't want to be helped. And it's just facts. So what do? For one, you have to make sure you're the reflection of the example you're trying to tell them to change. So This is a personal thing, right? It's like we try to tell people to do better, but we ain't doing better. So if they can't find the example in you, you're never going to break through to them, right? You have to be that example. That's number one. Second thing is you have to understand you can't change somebody's life. When people say, Trent, you changed my life, I'm like, no, I haven't. God changed it and you changed it because you did it. I just influenced change. I just planted the seed, but you have to water it. So what I would tell you is just keep planting seeds, right? And it's up to them to water it. My mother, we know all our moms, right? My mom or dad, like whoever it was for you, but my mom was the one that's like, baby, like, I want you to do this and this. And like, when I was trying to rap and throw parties and all that, she was like, I want you to break free from that. And I'm sure she was like, man, I ain't breaking through. But every time she was planting seeds. And when it was time for my storm to come, right, to water that seed in my life, because oftentimes it's a storm, it's a breakdown, it's a rock bottom. All the seeds that she planted and my dad planted and my friends planted that was trying to get me to do better, guess what happened? It grew me. I remembered those things. So don't think that the seeds that you're planting are just, falling by the wayside. Plant those seeds from a good place and just know when they're ready to change, those seeds that you planted will be there. But you can't lose yourself trying to help someone else that don't want to be helped. It's just facts.
Right.
All right. Appreciate you.
That was awesome. Thank you.
We are keeping it going tonight. What's up? Who else? What else we got? I got somebody else. Let me see. Who else we bringing on? Who in here? Let me know. Who is in here? You have a question? All right. Regarding your episode about children. Okay, Kayla, let's get it. I'm bringing you on, Kayla Storm. What's up?
Hello.
What up, Kayla? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just happy. I'm just happy.
Happy?
Yeah.
So I listened to your podcast the other day about how children pay the consequence for your decisions. And it really hit home with me because I'm in a marriage right now where we've outgrown each other and it's become toxic and we have a child together, and I've been battling with myself on if staying in the marriage or leaving is going to be more toxic because this person that I'm with doesn't want to grow, I feel like it's just going to be worse, when we separate. Yeah. So I'm wondering kind of how to take that leap when you know you're in a toxic situation. When you
When you have children. So I'm going to be clear. Like, I want to be clear. I'm a firm believer in fighting for stuff. Marriages, relationships, friendships are not going to be perfect, right? They're not. But if you're in a situation where you're fighting alone and you're continuing to fight alone and you know that nothing is going to change, right? That's a whole different story. And also, what I say here, take what you need, leave what you don't, because I don't have to deal with the decisions that you make, right? You do. So in saying that, the first thing that I would tell you is, a lot of times we stay together for the kids, right? That's why we stay together for it, because the kids, we have kids involved. But you have to ask yourself, yes, the kids might go through a period that might make life harder, maybe, but I'm a firm believer that a better environment will help a child than a toxic environment. Because what happens is we become the example for that child, especially young children. So they grow up thinking, oh, this is how a marriage is supposed to work. Oh, this is what love is. And what happens, we're in it now. We have a generations of cycles of dysfunction, of cycles of, the wrong definitions of love, of cycles of abuse. And kids think that it's normal. They grow up with that until they can form their own decisions. So I always think about, you love your kids, you want to give them what's best for them. And also, of course, what's best for you. And when it comes to, this answers your question too, when it comes to even like just co-parenting, like it's about the child. And so many people don't understand that. They make it personal. It's about the child. So how can I provide the best environment for my child? And that's just a question that I feel like will give you your answer at the end of the day.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. I appreciate you. Let's get it. Great question. We got some deep questions tonight. What's up? Last question of the night before we get out of here. Who am I gonna bring on? I know I'm gonna bring on. I got somebody. Hey, Mike, I'm about to bring you on, bro. How do you get over the trauma? You got to get down to the root issue, like, bro, your trauma. Don't get rule number 108 of rehab. Don't get into a new relationship you're not healed from your past one. A lot of us, we do that. We get into something new because we're trying to remove or get over or take our mind off of what's old. In order to get down to trauma, right, you have to really go back and understand where that seed is planted. Because if you don't get down to the root issues, I promise you, the trauma, the problems will find its way back to the surface. A lot of times what happens is we want the easy quote. We want the easy video. We want to make the feel good about our emotions. The surface level solution, right? Surface level solutions only erase things for moments. So you have to be able to say, okay, where is this coming from? Did this come from when I was a kid that I'm accepting less because I saw my mom or my dad accept less? Okay, did this come from, where did it come from? And so you got to dig it up, get down to the root issue, change it, replace it with a better seed. And that's how you overcome and you heal over time. All right, let me get my boy Mike on here. Mike, I'm about to bring you on, bro. I've been seeing you with the questions on here. I'm gonna bring you on. Let me see if I can find you. Dang. Hey, Mike, comment on it so I can bring you on right quick, bro. If you want to come on. Man, y'all are here deep tonight. What's up? Let's get to that 1,000. Why not? All right. Hey, Mariella, I'm about to bring you on. I can't find Mike. Oh, here we go. I got you. Never mind. Cool. Let's get it. I can't. Oh, Mike, I can't bring you on. It ain't letting me. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if you got it. It's not letting me bring you on. Oh man, let me see. Who on here? Mariella, you want to come on here? Let's bring Mariella on. Have your question ready. Dang, man, y'all commenting too fast. I can't even click it. There we go. Waitings. Let's see. All right, who else want to come on? Let's bring Henry on here. Henry, you want to come on here? I'm about to bring you on, Henry. Let's see. Hold on. Let me cancel this one. Dang, man. Hey, y'all commenting too fast.
Yo,
What's good, bro?
what's
What's
up,
good?
man? Good to see
Chilling,
you.
man. I want to bring you on here to ask you a question.
Okay, yeah, man.
Okay, so first of all, y'all know who Henry is. Great guy. I'll just put it like that. Go dive into it to understand how great he is. Became a friend of mine over maybe like the last year or so. We connected, and just a genuine spirit, man. And so I want to ask you. So there's a lot of people here. I feel like that probably feel like they're not enough. That probably feel like, for whatever reason, if it's they lost something or someone made them, maybe it's comparison. In your times where you felt like you weren't enough, if you have, which I know you have because we all have, like what helped you and what advice would you give to them?
Oh man, that's a great question. By the way, man, good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, no problem, man. I saw you. I was like, let me bring Henry on.
Appreciate you. Yeah, man. You know what's funny is I don't know. A lot of people don't know. I used to be the most insecure, passive person I knew. Right? I'd walk in a room and not feel like I belonged in the room, or like you worry what everybody thinks about you. And a lot of it stems, like you said earlier. I was watching you live, and you're like, it stems when you're younger, and it's a root cause. And so I realized like there was a moment in my life where I said, wait a minute, like if that person's confident, because I know you felt the same way, like you've grown so much. And I know we've said, like, if I can do it, I believe anybody could do it. Right. And it's a lot of the relationship we build with ourselves as well. Right. Because I'm always talking to myself in my head. I'm always building a relationship with myself. And so there came a moment in my life where I said, enough is enough. Like I got to learn how to break free from this insecurity, which is really ultimately fear. And so in my life, I just got really obsessed with, okay, fear shows up as insecurity, worrying what other people think about you, fear of failure, fear of success, and you were talking about relationships. Sometimes we stay in the wrong relationships because we're afraid. Sometimes we push the right relationships away because we're afraid, right? And so in a sense, and I always love your messages, bro, so much. Every time I'm like for real, man, so good. So like for me, it's really taking an inventory of where are you at really in your life? And a relationship takes time. And how do I build how do we build a relationship? We met, I got to know you. We had really good conversation. I created a safe space for you. And I think it's twofold. One is really building the relationship with yourself and owning your gifts and owning your strength and following Trent and believing Trent at his word, right? Like saying, if I don't believe in myself, I'm going to take Trent's word on it until I believe in myself. And so for me, I used to be super insecure until one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to surround myself with everything that has a higher frequency and take inventory of everything in my life. Because you always say, don't put yourself around people that are constantly putting you down, right?
Yeah.
And so it's funny because learning that this is just trying to make me survive. My spirit, my heart, my soul isn't always looking for the problems, but my mind is always looking at, oh shoot, like, am I not enough? If I'm not enough, then I need to survive. I need to survive. I need to survive. And so I started saying, I am not my feelings, right? And so I guess my main point is, if I had to simplify it for everybody right now, is what are you speaking into yourself? Are you speaking life to yourself or are you not? What kind of boundaries are you setting in your life? Trent always talks about boundaries, and I know that and I love that, because it's like, what kind of boundaries are you setting? You treat other people to love you with how you love yourself. Love people, love other people, hurt people, hurt other people.
Absolutely.
And so like, in a sense, I had to learn who I was. I had to ask myself, hey, Trent, I don't really know my strengths really. Can you help me out and help me figure out my strengths? Because if I don't own my strengths, I can't give them to the world, because I can't go give your phone and be like, all right, guys, all right, Ben just commented, Ben, here's Trent's phone, you could have it. You're like, dude, it's not your phone.
Yeah.
I can't give something away I don't own. So if I don't own my greatness, own my strength, right, and own who I am, how am I supposed to give it to the world? How am I supposed to bless the world? So everybody, we do an injustice when we believe the lies in our head. And the question always is, the truth and love will set you free. What's the truth? And how do you show up in love? And the last thing I'll say, so I'm going on this rant, but loving self-awareness is key, right? A lot of times we look at ourselves, we're like, oh man, I failed, so I'm a loser and I'm this and I'm that. It's like, no. I would never share a fall with somebody that beats me up when I'm speaking. So why would I share the truth with myself if every time I fall, I beat myself up? And how am I ever supposed to be free? Where everybody, you got Trent, and you know this really well because a lot of our friends, we're in constant growth. People that you see out there with millions of followers, like, you know, we've been really blessed with helping so many people in the world. Some people that are like, have millions of followers in the top 5 on the Billboard charts, and you go behind closed doors and they struggle with the same things, right? Everybody struggles with the same things. And this may not be the best way to say it, but everybody got crap in their diapers, right? Like, and so the trick is love is patient, love is kind. And as you build a relationship with yourself, it's going to take time, but you got to keep your eye on the prize. You got to be lovingly self-aware and keep going with Trent. Keep putting yourself around high energy people. And if you don't have any around you, there's a whole community of people that can do that. But speak life into yourself. Look into your own eyes and recognize that you've already made some tough decisions in your life. And you're here. If you're watching this live, there's a part of you. Give yourself the biggest props in the world because something is drawing you to the light of Trent and his wisdom and all of this. So I just love that question, man. And I want everybody to know one thing. And Trent, I know you know this is validation is for parking, man. Nobody validates you. You just by being alive, by your heart beating, it's telling you that there's a purpose. You're here on this earth, and your journey is a hero's journey. And whatever you struggle with, when you overcome it, like when you slay that dragon in front of you, your strength becomes equal to that dragon. So whatever life puts in front of you, whatever God puts in front of you, he knows you could handle it. So take it as a compliment if it's big. You know?
Absolutely. I don't have nothing to say, bro. Just
yeah, so I went on this little rant, man. Sorry about
Nah, bro, I
so
appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro. And that's why I brought you on, because I already knew the value was going to bring, man. So I appreciate you. Everything you said is 100% facts and truth. So I'm just reading the comments and they taking it in, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate everything you're doing, man, for real. Like, I just got to tell you, watching your content, I just appreciate your light and your passion and your faith and stuff like that. I just got to put that out there to everybody, you guys. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Trent is the real deal, you guys. Like, let me just say one thing about it. I know you're humble, so I'm gonna say it. I sat with Trent like probably over a year ago, and we sat down and spoke. And I knew Trent. I knew he was positive on social media. I loved you, man, more after I spoke with you one-on-one than what I saw you. He's the real deal. Like, what he says is legit. Like, he lives what he preaches, man. I've told that to so many people. I said, I respect Trent so much because he lives what he preaches. He lives from his heart, man. And I appreciate you so much, man, for being who you are, because you're real, man.
Thank you, bro.
Like you said, straight up, you're real.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, man. Much love, man. And we'll connect. You know, we about to do something special, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, talk to you guys later. See you.
Man, I'm glad I clicked on Henry, man. Henry brought that heat, that fire. And make sure you guys follow him and get in tune with him, man. I'm gonna bring one more person on, and then I'm about to get off of here. I gotta get home. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Who do I want to bring? Who wants to come on? LBB. Mariella, I got somebody. I'm gonna go with Teresa. Teresa, hope you have a question. What's up?
Hi.
What's good? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm great, man. Just feel good. You know, I just feel good. Just one of those moods where I don't know. That's probably because I've been serving all day. I did a team call, and anytime I'm in that element of serving, I just feel better. And that's the thing too. Like, side note, you know, when you're feeling down, the best thing that you can do is give value to people, because when you give value to people, it lets you know that you're valuable. So, you know, during this COVID-19, at first I was like disconnected, and then I was like, man, I got to get out and just serve the people. And it just brings a light and energy to my life. How you doing?
I am doing so good. And I actually saw some of your posts of people posting about you going live with them. And I was like, oh my God, Trent Shelton is going live with so many people, sharing your life with everybody. Like, I always log into your page, and it's like my morning routine is like, check on Trent Shelton. What is his post? What is he sharing? What is he going to motivate me with me today? And I just love it because it inspires me and it gets me to start my day the right way.
Man, that's so great. You want to share maybe how, do you have a question?
No.
Okay. So how about, like, how did how did you maybe come across my video? If I'm assuming my videos, and like, how did it help your life? I'm just curious.
Okay, so back in 2015, I was going through a very, very hard time. Yeah. I was sick. I had lymphangioma. I had a cyst that was attached to my gallbladder, pancreas, and liver. I was just in a very bad place, physically, mentally, emotionally, in a bad place and in a bad relationship. When I came across one of your videos on Facebook, and I'm like, who is this guy speaking all this truth and just speaking facts? And it's so hard to find people who actually just bring the truth. Even though it's hard, even though some people are not going to like it, but you brought it and I took it in. And I didn't just take it in and listen to it. I took notes. I made sure I implemented every single thing you said. I made sure that if I didn't do it that day, the next day I'm like, today I'm going to manage it. Today I'm going to handle it, because if it was Trent Shelton, like he said, you are going to put yourself first. You're going to show up for yourself and you are going to make it happen, because it's rehab time, right? You're going in because you want to change. You're not going in because you're saying, oh my God, I want to just do something, or I want to take these notes. You're going in because you want to be proactive. You want to be a better person. You want to improve your life. You want to improve your health. You want to improve your mental state. And to me, that was so important, because I was dying, because I was going to have a liver transplant. My life, and I am saved, and I am happy and healthy, and I lost over 70 pounds, and I did not need a liver transplant. I'm off all medication. I have no chemo treatments, nothing at all. And I listen, but put into action what you study. Don't just listen. Do it, do it, do it, and practice it every single day.
Absolutely. Facts, man. Y'all just dropping mics. Like this this live is for me. Like absolutely facts. And I'm glad you touched on that, because application creates transformation. And that's the thing, right? People want feel good moments. And we all do. I've been there. And the message feels good, but it's like, okay, when you hear it, what are you going to do about it? Because I'm sure, I can assume that when you want to do things for your life, maybe you got, some information, or maybe you got help here and there, but ultimately nothing changed into your life until you actually took the step, right?
I literally sat there and I had moments where I cried, and I was on the ground, on the floor, and I had people telling me that I was being selfish for taking care of myself. But I knew that I had to implement the things. Is either me dying and just losing my life, or either me taking care of my life, making a change, and showing up for myself. And because of that, I told myself that day, since 2015, I will check in on Trent Shelton's page. I know he's busy, but I will get as much information as I can from every single platform he is in. I study your words, I study your podcast, I study your videos, and I implemented every single thing. And I think since I've been following you in 2015, just this year, I actually started like reposting your stuff and actually like sharing your stuff, because I was so scared. And it wasn't that I was just scared of anything. I was so afraid to actually tell myself that, oh my God, this is my life, to confront that I was living in that cycle that I had to break. And that was a confrontation that was just so hard. And it was like, yeah, but it was worthwhile, because I'm here thriving and living and showing up every single day better than I could ever imagine, and still improving.
You can't, oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so glad I brought you on here, because now, like, oh man, this is so beautiful, because you understand now, like by you sharing your story. That's what I love about stories and testimonies and testaments, because it shows when you do the work. It shows when you trust the process. Like nothing is going to change overnight. 2015, right? You're in 2020. I'm sure you look back, you're like, wow, it all started with a decision. It all started with a choice. And after that choice, I always say, it takes a choice to start a new beginning, but commitment to actually change your life. And you found commitment, because I know life gets hard, and I know life gets tough. I know life, whatever, but you're so committed into the life that you want and what you want to feel that, for one, you're not going back to maybe the things that were limiting your life. And for two, you're going to find a way through anything you're going through because you know what awaits on the other side. Some of us, what we do is we sit on like, just imagine it's a body of water. We're on one side of the water. And we're like, man, I want to get to the other side of the water, but we don't want to swim. We don't want to go through the current. We don't want to do those things. We don't want to get in the paddle boat and do the work. We just want to magically transform, teleport to the other side. This is the real world. It's 2020. Maybe in 30-20, that might can happen. But in 2020, you have to do the work. And the most important work, shout out to Big Sean for this quote, this line, this rap music. The most important work that you will do that you will never get paid for is the work that you put on yourself, which will pay off greater than anything that you would have got paid for.
Yeah. And one thing that I do want to add, Trent, that I've learned from you and that I felt that I had to practice is that for some reason, what you were saying at one time was like a foreign language until I was able to practice it, do it, live it, be true to myself, put my ego aside and realize that, no, these are the facts. These are who you are. These are the things that are not allowing you to move forward in life. And until I had to tell myself, wow, I am that person. Before I couldn't look at myself in the mirror and say, oh, I'm here. I could look at myself in the mirror today and be completely happy and fulfilled and knowing that I'm still growing because I'm doing it 100% openly and willing to learn and make that change because I failed so much. And now that I even go back and I replay your videos from 2009, and that message is so much different from 2015 because I wasn't ready to take that message as I am ready now to take it. And it's, if you compare my notes from then to now, it's just a drastic change to me.
Wow. We're signing off. This is just too much fire. And I need, there's a lot to process with Henry, with you, just everybody who asked their questions. And so I appreciate you for sharing and thank you so much. And let's get it.
Thank you so much.
For sure. Man, live it, breathe it, be it. Straight up, I am leaving now. I'm off. Like, I can't take anymore. Like, my energy, I'm an introvert, so I can give a certain amount of energy. That's why my videos were 2 minutes long, right? It's a certain amount of energy that I can give, and I have to woosah, listen to some classical music, and calm down. All right, so I'm logging off. I appreciate you guys, and a lot of cool stuff coming. But yeah, let's get it, man. I'll be in my inbox tonight, too, so I can't answer everybody because I'm not promising, but I do be randomly answering people. I do be FaceTiming people like randomly that support, especially the podcast, Straight Up Podcast. If you're not listening to the podcast, what are you doing? Like, it's, I don't even want to say, like, the ranking don't matter. Okay. If you like the words that you hear from me, listen to my podcast. You get 20, 30 minutes of it. And I'm just being straight up. All right. So new book comes August 4th. You can pre-order it, straightupbook.com. Go pre-order it. I'm doing something cool if you do pre-order it, like a video chat with me. So go pre-order it. If not, then that's cool too. The Greatest Shoe is out. Target, all these stores, Amazon. Like, just order off Amazon because I don't want y'all to put yourselves in danger. I don't know what's going on with everything in the world. What else? I got music on Spotify and everything. All right, I'm out. Let's get it. Yeah.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.